This evening, a suspected land fraudster was arrested at the Ministry of Housing, attempting to defraud a man of over $200,000. We'll have the details on this unfolding investigation. Stay tuned for further updates. Next, the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit strikes again, seizing nearly 20 pounds of cocaine in coordinated operations across Georgetown and the Lower Pomeroon River. Find out how the suspects were caught and what's next in this case. You won't want to miss this. In a significant boost to our national grid, the power ship is now operating at its full capacity of 36 megawatts, promising a more stable power supply for the public. Learn how this development aims to reduce service interruptions. Stay with us for more. 5 families from Region 3, West Bank Demerara, received keys to their new homes as part of the government's home initiative. Hear their stories of joy and gratitude as they step into a new chapter of home ownership. Stay tuned for this heartwarming story. And finally, Colombian President Gustavo Petro is set to travel to the southern region in response to escalating violence by a splinter group of former FARC rebels. We'll bring you the latest on this security crisis and its implications. Stay with us for these stories and more. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for May 22nd, 2024. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, officers from the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, acting on information received, conducted an operation at Cummins Lodge, Greater Georgetown, where they seized a quantity of cocaine on Sunday, May 19th. During the operation, they intercepted 3 individuals, 54-year-old Guyanese Gavin Adams and 2 Venezuelan nationals, 35-year-old Jose Gomez and 22-year-old Kevin Foguera. A search revealed a black haversack containing 3 black brick-like parcels of suspected cocaine. The parcels tested positive for cocaine, weighing over 3 kilograms. All 3 suspects were arrested and taken to CANU's headquarters. The following day, May 20th, CANU officers continued their investigation with a follow-up operation in the Grand Woodland area of Lower Pomeroon River. A search of Gavin Adams' residence uncovered 5 additional brick-like parcels of a whitish powdery substance, also suspected to be cocaine. Ortiz Rafael, a 35-year-old Venezuelan national, was arrested at the scene. The substance tested positive for cocaine and weighed over 5 kilograms. In total, CANU seized nearly 20 pounds of cocaine in the coordinated operations. Investigations are ongoing. In other news, a man suspected of posing as a land seller was arrested on Monday at the Ministry of Housing in Brigham for allegedly attempting to defraud another man of $250,000. The suspect, whose name has not been released, is a 30-year-old resident of Canal No. 1, West Bank, Demerara. According to the Ghana Police Force, a 31-year-old man from Gordon Street, Kitty, Georgetown, who was accompanying the alleged fraudster, was also arrested after attempting to flee from police officers. The intended victim, 30-year-old Andrew Albert from Enterprise, East Coast, Demerara, informed investigators that he received a call on May 17, 2024, from a man who identified himself as Sukram, a surveyor at the Ministry of Housing. The caller offered Albert a low-income house lot for $500,000 with an initial payment of $250,000 and instructed him to meet at the Ministry of Housing on May 20th. Albert told police that on the morning of May 20th, he received an acknowledgement letter from the suspect claiming allocation of a house lot at Enterprise. When Albert arrived at the Ministry of Housing, he pointed out the alleged fraudster to the police officer, leading to the suspect's arrest. At the time of his arrest, the suspect possessed the acknowledgement letter and a receipt for the house lot payment in Albert's name. Police continues to investigate the incident. On a different note, the power ship is now operating at its full capacity of 36 megawatts of electricity, a significant boost to the national grid, ensuring a more stable power supply for the public. The Ghana Power and Lighting Cooperative announced that the ship completed its capacity test on Monday and now supplies maximum power to the Demerara-Berbice interconnected system. This increase in power generation is expected to reduce service interruptions that have affected citizens. The power ship has 2 engines, each capable of producing 18 megawatts of power. The floating power plant arrived in Guyana on May 1st and was moved to Berbice on May 4th to connect to the Demerara-Berbice interconnected system. The government procured the energy vessel to address the increased electricity demand, which had led to frequent power outages. GPL, Orbicon Concessions Investments, and Car Power Ship International signed a multi-million-dollar contract to rent the ship for 2 years. GPL signed the contract on 13th of April with a US $1 million mobilization fee already paid. The rental agreement includes a monthly charter fee of US $6.62 per kilowatt per hour and a maintenance fee of 89 cents per kilowatt per hour based on electricity generated. Stick around when we return. 5 families in Region 3 receive new homes under government housing initiative. And Jaganan and family demands justice for son shot in March. DPP recommends further investigation.
Experience more than award-winning speed.
Way more.
Get the best that LTE has to offer on Digicel, officially the fastest mobile network in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the best mobile network in Guyana. With the best LTE experience and the fastest data speeds, experience it all with Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
TikToker followers, is credit. And today, we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you don't know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. She shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. How smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. On Monday, 5 families from Region 3, West Bank Demerara, received keys to their new core homes as part of the government's program to assist the vulnerable families in achieving home ownership. This initiative falls under the $5.8 billion Adequate Housing and Urban Accessibility Program, funded by the Inter-American Development Bank. Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell and Central Housing and Planning Authority CEO Sherwin Graves handed over the keys during a simple ceremony. In addition to the new homes, the project includes infrastructural improvements such as street drainage and streetlights.
For example, over here within the low-income area, we've spent about $1.3 billion for the streets, drainage, even for some street lighting, etc.
To date, 105 out of the planned 323 houses have been handed over to beneficiaries through this program. To date, 105 out of the planned 323 houses have been handed over to beneficiaries through this program. Each home costs $5 million, with beneficiaries contributing only $100,000. The recipients express gratitude and excitement for their new homes.
I'm so much grateful for this home the government has really granted me. It was a honor, a blessings in disguise.
Place used to leak, and then we used to get flood, and the inside the place was bad, and so I feel so comfortable and glad.
It means a lot to myself and family.
The program also focuses on enhancing and constructing community grounds. Updating a story we brought to you yesterday, in a recent press release, Avalon and Reshma Jagannathan have raised their voices demanding justice for their son Jared, tragically shot on March 21, 2024. The latest development in this case came yesterday when the Director of Public Prosecutions returned the file to the police, recommending further investigations. The Jagannathans allege that an unlicensed security guard from Civil Security Incorporated is responsible for their son's untimely death. Despite 2 months since the incident, no charges have been brought forward, leaving the family frustrated and concerned. Expressing their dismay, the Jagannathans called for a comprehensive investigation and accountability from all involved parties. They fear the possibility of justice being evaded and stress the importance of legal action to ensure that their son receives the justice he deserves. With the DPP's recommendations for further investigation, the Jagannathans remain hopeful that progress will be made in uncovering the truth behind Jared's tragic death. They continue to advocate for their son, determined to see justice served. Don't go away after the break. New Caledonia unrest, French president to visit the territory, and thousands mourn Iran's Raisi in Tabriz procession after helicopter crash.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the network with the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Aishalton or in Etteringban, we got you covered.
Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
Welcome to Fortune Investment Company, your #1 eco-friendly cleaning and janitorial company in Guyana. At Fortune Investment Company, we specialize in commercial and residential cleaning. Whether it's your home or office, our experienced team is detail-focused and take pride in providing excellent services to make your spaces sparkle. Restaurants and kitchen cleaning? Aren't you tired of hearing your chef complain? Keep your culinary spaces spotless and hygienic with our dedicated maintenance services. Floor scrubbing and polishing? Elevate the look of your home or business. Give your floors a new lease on life with our professional scrubbing and polishing. But that's not all. We also offer power washing and steam cleaning. Say goodbye to dirt and moss. Our power washing services will leave your surfaces looking brand new. Revitalize your carpets, mattresses, and chairs with our thorough steam cleaning services. When you want someone to clean your space with care and without the unhealthy chemicals, you want Fortune Investment Company. Call us now at 646-0405 or 689-7558 or 639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jacksonville Housing Scheme, North Rumville, to schedule your cleaning and janitorial services. Visit our business pages at Fortune Investment Company to learn more about our services and promotion. Fortune Investment Company, where cleanliness meets perfection, because a clean space is a happy space. And remember, we do the dirty works while you stay clean.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Cheaply with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. In St. Martin, the Prime Minister, Dr. Luc Marcelina, has evoked Article 59 to dissolve Parliament and call for a snap election just 18 days into his government's tenure. This follows the loss of majority support in Parliament after MP Kevin McGrath of the National Opportunity Wealth Party withdrew his backing, forming a new coalition with the National Alliance and the United People's Party. The coalition government, initially comprised of URSM, DP, NOW, and PFP, was sworn in on May 3rd. Former Prime Minister Sylvia Jacobs announced the new coalition. Marcelina, addressing the nation, emphasized the need for the people to decide the country's future, with elections expected within 3 months. Colombian President Gustavo Petro will travel to the southern region on Friday in response to the deteriorating security situation. A splinter group of former FARC rebels has launched a full-front offensive against state forces. Al Jazeera's Alexandria Rampiete reports.
A series of explosions have rocked Colombia's volatile Cauca region over the past several days. This is what's left of a police station in the town of Morales, after a blast killed several officers and injured at least 6 others. Authorities believe the FARC-EMC, a rebel group, is to blame for the violence. The group's western faction walked away from peace talks with the government in April, starting a full-scale assault on the region where they operate.
We won't negotiate a new ceasefire with the EMC. This criminal organisation has shown with its attacks against civilians in this region that a truce isn't possible.
President Gustavo Petro ordered the defense minister and the military leadership to immediately travel to the area and establish a permanent security council, calling for a total offensive against the group. He also replaced the army's chief general Luis Ospina, who had come under fire for the deteriorating security situation. Cauca residents say they have been increasingly terrorized by the group.
It's very distressing, especially for the children. I have no words. This violence is affecting us all.
Security expert Elizabeth Dickinson says the violence is the consequence of an increasing fragmentation of Colombia's internal conflict.
In recent years, and particularly since the pandemic, we saw the opposite. There was a trend toward consolidation, where different smaller groups saw an advantage in coming together to look for concessions from the government. Now that peace talks have been thrown into crisis, I think the logic is very different. It's much more about controlling illicit economies on a local level, and that is leading us towards a situation with more and more smaller groups splitting off and looking for their own interests rather than a national accord.
The ongoing peace talks have helped reduce violence in some regions, but not all. In the rural southwest, for example, crimes such as extortion, kidnapping, or the recruitment of children have actually increased as criminal groups continue to tighten their grip, leaving the government with no option but a return to a full offensive, with civilians caught in the crossfire. Alessandro Ampietti, Al Jazeera, Bogotá.
Internationally, French President Emmanuel Macron is traveling to New Caledonia in the Pacific after a week of unrest triggered by proposed changes to electoral laws. The French territory is under a state of emergency after violence broke out when pro-independence protesters took to the streets. Al Jazeera's Wayne Hay reports.
Of New Caledonia's capital Nouméa, protesters are still in control and promising to fight on.
We won't give up until they withdraw the text they are about to vote on. No, we won't give up, even if we have to die for it.
The text he refers to as a constitutional change that would expand the electorate in New Caledonia, allowing more French nationals to vote in local elections. The indigenous Kanak say it's entrenching French colonization and marginalizing their voice.
We're waiting for this text to be withdrawn because it means the elimination of the Kanak people. We're already in the minority. If they get this text through Congress in Versailles, we're screwed.
The French government continues to increase the number of security personnel who have been slowly bringing the situation under control. But days of protesting, looting and arson have shut down parts of Nouméa, and some people worry it will never be the same.
We're waiting for the police to intervene, and then maybe we'll be a bit more relieved, a bit more liberated. It's true that afterwards it will be difficult to rebuild everything, and that's that. It's a sad story. There's only one word for it: sad.
The international airport remains closed to commercial flights, stranding many tourists. On Tuesday, the governments of New Zealand and Australia were given permission to land military aircraft in New Caledonia to evacuate some of their citizens. The first have arrived back home.
A bit angry with the Australian government, to be honest, in as much as that I felt that they should have warned us prior to going.
More flights are planned in the coming days, contingent on the fluid security situation. Wayne Hay, Al Jazeera, Tauranga, New Zealand.
Finally, a funeral ceremony is underway for Iran's late president Ebrahim Raisi. He was killed in a helicopter crash on Sunday along with the foreign minister and 7 others. Al Jazeera's Ali Hashem reports.
When Ebrahim Raisi last appeared at Mehrabad airport, he was not only Iran's president, but also believed to be a candidate to succeed the supreme leader. Now, his body and those of Foreign Minister Hussein Amir Abdullahian and 7 others are being paraded in a procession at the same airport. It will be followed by a state funeral overseen by the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on Wednesday, ahead of a burial ceremony the next day. In Qom, Iran's second holiest city, the coffins passed through a shrine before being transported to Tehran for a final public viewing. Their bodies were found on Monday, hours after the helicopter crashed in foggy conditions in northern Iran. With this sudden loss of its president, Iran faces an unexpected transition, with a snap election scheduled for June 28 to find Raisi's successor, while Mohammad Mukhbir serves as interim president.
The trajectory of continuity is something I'm strongly convinced that is mostly expected in terms of grand strategies in the arena of foreign policy and domestic policy, as these sorts of policies and strategies are formulated within a complex dynamism involving several factors and actors.
However, the prevailing concern among the people is the mysterious circumstances surrounding the helicopter crash that killed the president and his companions.
About half an hour into the flight, we spotted a cloud patch in the valley near the mine. The pilot carrying the president decided to ascend above the clouds, which we followed. But within 30 seconds above the clouds, we lost sight of the president's helicopter. Our pilot speculated on an emergency landing by the president's pilot and circled the area several times. Unfortunately, with no news forthcoming, we were forced to land in the mining area.
The Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, Mohammed Bagheri, has initiated a high-level investigation into the cause of the president's helicopter crash. The outcome of this investigation will be crucial in finding out what brought down the helicopter carrying the president and foreign minister as well as the other passengers. Without definitive answers, there will be likely more speculations and conspiracy theories. Ali Hashim, Al Jazeera, Tehran.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's Safe TV2 Headline News for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.